Pirates. If you don't love them, it's probably because they plundered your things or burnt down your village. It seems a little bit like a skill issue, L plus ratio, etc. Oh, nothing like warm wine. Thundertron is the first of the Star Seekers, you know, the herald of another Walmart subline that I promise you will be totally impossible to find. If you think getting a hold of Cosmos was difficult, just wait till Lockdown comes out. But Hasbro dipped their toes into the water. Get it? Because he's a pirate. Because he operates in water a lot. See, it's a pretty funny joke when you think with a mainline release. If he's any indication of how good the subline's gonna be, then I have high hopes for the future. He feels so good. Plastic is dense and thick and solid. We really have come a long way from the Prime Wars. Just to be clear, the head is okay. Nothing snapped off. It was just a silly little pop. He looks so nice too. The color scheme is absolutely gorgeous. I love this regal royal kind of blue and the kind of halfway between gold and bronze. The white is really nice too, and I just hope it doesn't end up the same way as Tigatron's. You got a decent amount of movement. There are a couple of little weird things here and there. Hands are a little limited by the claws. It kind of catches on that little edge there, a little bit on the other side too, but they can rotate. Weirdly, the 5mm hole doesn't go all the way through. It's for stability in the lion mode, so I actually don't mind it that much. Like, they easily could have given him no wrist rotation, so I'm not gonna complain that much. The shoulder pauldrons don't move if you want them to stay together. If you push it backward, it automatically pops up because it catches on this little ridge right here. I don't really mind this look though. It kind of looks like that thing that Gundams do, you know, the Gundam thing. It's not a flaw, it's a feature. Side note, I don't know why these are asymmetrical. His left one is a 5mm port, so you can add anything that your heart desires onto him. But this side has two rectangular peg holes that have no purpose. The little peg on the hilt of the sword doesn't fit in it. There's not really anything else on the figure that would go there. I guess it'll just be one of the great mysteries of life, like, why is water wet? When you think, why is Garfield sexy? Head movement is limited by his massive throbbing delts. Those are delts, right? Your traps. Gotcha. Trapezius. Neck movement is limited by his massive throbbing trapeziuses. Trapezii? God. I'm fine with that though because of how good his head looks. I love that all the little scratch marks and details and stuff are asymmetrical. It makes him look like battle-hardened, sea-weathered, Dilfy. He does have a waist swivel, but it's a little limited by all the baggage going on here, but it looks like a pirate coat, so, you know, fair trade-off. Here we have our Star Seekers faction symbol. I love the more obscure factions, like, you know, give us some Wreckers, give us some Terracons, give us some more Minicons. Give me more Minicons. I want more Minicons. This isn't enough. I need more than just Jolt, please. And he costs so much money. I didn't even want the hot shot that he came with. I paid so much money for him, and now he's not even in focus. Thundertron's clean, though. I mean, unless you take issue with the tail, which you shouldn't, by the way. All love to the furries. He has basically no back kibble. The thing that really sold me on him, even though I have no attachment to the character, is optional peg leg. He does sacrifice the pivot that comes on this one, but it's 100% worth it. It's even blast effect compatible, and if you don't think that's cool, then I don't think you're cool. And honestly, I think we should take some time apart to think about the future of our relationship. I think the only thing that bums me out about this figure is that the foot does not turn into a parrot the way it did on the original toy. It just attaches to the sword like a benign growth. It's not a terrible look, but it looks better without it. So. Transformation is super satisfying in both directions. There's plenty of clearance for everything to move and spaces for everything to peg in. Another question is why this neck part is pinned. It doesn't swivel at all, and it doesn't serve any purpose in the transformation. So if you have an answer, please let me know. I'm very confused by it. Cat. Zoid Cat. According to TF Wiki, he was specifically inspired by Zoids, and I don't know anything about Zoids, but that's a Zoid if I've ever seen one. His name also comes from Thundercats and Voltron, Thundertron, so he really is just an absolute cluster of intellectual property theft. Weapon storage isn't particularly good, but it rarely is when you have a figure with a sword. I feel like there could have been space in here to plug it in, but oh well. You can give the cat a peg leg too, but then it obstructs the peg that lets you attach it onto the lion mode. You could always put the foot in his mouth if you're into that. No tea, no shade. Again, no kink shaming here. Posability in this mode is pretty limited, like most big cat modes. If you unpeg the front legs from their mounting points, you get a little bit more to work with. He can be about to pounce, maybe about to nap in the sun. It occurs to me they look pretty similar. Maybe he's gonna file his taxes. I don't know what cats do. So yeah, Thundertron rocks, and it sucks because it means I'm gonna have to buy the entire set. And you might be thinking, you know, exercise some self-control. To which I would say, shut up. I could definitely see them getting some repaints out of it. A Leo Breaker would be an easy choice. Maybe even an Alpha Trizer if they want to go real deep cut. I highly recommend. He's the best big cat since Cheetor, who was one of my favorites of last year, which you would know if you watch my top 10 of the 2023, you know, always be plugging. He's 100% worth the price. I highly recommend you pick him up. And I really hope that you guys appreciate the commitment I have to the bits in these videos. I've been wearing an eye patch the whole time, and it's really made depth perception